So, friends, welcome to this session on MS Dhoni's Vedic astrology analysis. We know that just yesterday he announced his retirement. We don't know from what form of cricket, but he's announced his retirement. And definitely, what I see from the charts is that he is going through some kind of challenges. But let's look at what's going on and what has been the trends in his chart. This is the birth chart of MS Dhoni, which you can see here. It is showing you that there's a lot of stuff going on here in this chart. And before that, the birth timing I've obtained from the references, the astrologer Greenstone Lobo. Greenstone Lobo has made a video, and in that video he's mentioned this particular timing of MS Dhoni as 5:35 a.m. and the date everyone knows, but 5:35 a.m. is mentioned by Greenstone Lobo in an interview in a presentation with Sunil John, and it's apparently confirmed by him. So going ahead, this chart, definitely we can see, let me annotate and show you some of the things, some of the basic stuff, and that indicates very much what his personality is about. We can see Sun in the first house, we can see Mercury in the first house. So he's a good leader, he's a good communicator, which is what we can see from that. Then we see very important, Ketu is in his 8th house, which brings this very strategic, intuitive side, and he can go deep into making very good strategies, which we'll also talk about. He's a multitasker. Jupiter is with Saturn. He works hard on his skills. The glamour and attraction part comes from the fact that Venus is with Rahu, and Venus kind of is enhanced by Rahu. It's kind of magnified by Rahu. So there is a lot of this glamour attraction towards him, and he's a star also. When we look at, so we'll look at some more stuff in his chart. So a lot of the things about him is, one of the things about him is that he can stay calm in various situations. So he's a kind of an evolved soul, because we see Ketu in his 8th house. We see that he has this strong intuition, strong ability to stay calm in all situations and plan and strategize and, do things which are really unconventional at times, which people may think that these things are going to fail, but they don't fail. Maybe he gives the bowling to some batsman, or he sends some a bowler as a batsman, or some stuff like that, which is really out of the blue, and from where does this come? So let's look at that. So when we look at his chart, we see that Ketu is his life lord. So he's born in a Mahadasha of Ketu, in a period of Ketu. Ketu is the south node of the moon. It brings intuition, it brings strategy. And he's born in that period. And Ketu being the life lord, in the birth chart, we see Ketu in the 8th house, which is also the house of strategy. We see Ketu in the 10th house, Scorpio, which is the good sign for Ketu, and it's in the 10th house. So the work he does is strategic. It's not just skill based, it's strategic, it's aptitude. It's not only aptitude, it's also attitude, So he has this strategic thing going on, intuitional thing going on, which gives him this brilliant insight, which every genius needs to have. A Srinivasan Ramanujan, who's a great mathematician, had this. And he would say that the goddess comes in his dreams and tells him about mathematics. So this intuitional side is very strong with MS Dhoni because of this Ketu placement, Ketu being life lord, Ketu being positioned very well in his D10 chart. This makes him a very strong strategist. In his natal chart, we also see that Ketu is aspecting Mars, and Mars is for sports, Mars is for war, so it is very important to know that. And we see in one of these articles that since childhood, Dhoni would read books on war, strategy, and combat. This helped him to develop a range of mental models which enabled to keep a flexible mindset. Also, we say that his subconscious mind is being mentioned. So working with the subconscious mind, working with the subconscious mind of his players, of his team, is and his opponents is the strength that he had, that he has, and that is major strength when we see his chart. And also the position of Uranus. So we look at his chart. Before I talk about love and relationship, let me just quickly share about Uranus. What's Uranus doing? And this was mentioned by Greenstone Lobo again. So Uranus in his chart is ruling Aquarius, and Aquarius is the ninth house, the house of luck. So Uranus is ruling the ninth house, the house of luck, and it is placed in the sixth house, Scorpio, where it is exalted. So his day-to-day life is where he does unconventional things. He wants to do new things. He doesn't like to do the same things. And he excels when he does new things. He excels when he does something unconventional out of the blue. Also, we see that if we take Neptune, again, Neptune explains why Neptune explains why his profession is again related to a lot of doing a lot of imaginative stuff, doing a lot of stuff which others cannot think about. So that is the amazing part about MS Dhoni, apart which makes his cricketing skills special. Okay, so now we'll talk about his love and relationships. Well, if we look at his chart again, it's very interesting that the seventh lord is sitting in the fourth house. The seventh lord is sitting in the fourth house with Saturn. And we also see that I've made a slight mistake here. I'll just change this here, maybe. Let me quickly. Yeah, so this is Venus with Rahu. This is Venus with Rahu. So Venus with Rahu in the second house, Venus represents the wife. I've just made a mistake here. Okay, so it's seventh connection with fourth. So that means his wife, his partner will be from the same city. And this is true. And also his previous partner, his girlfriend who passed away, unfortunately, was also from the same city, Ranchi. Also, we see that in his chart, Venus is in the second house, and Venus represents the wife, Venus represents the female partner, and Venus is in the second house in the fourth sign. So that means, and that what that meant was that his partner will be from his same school. And actually both his partners, the girlfriend who passed away, as well as his current wife, they are both from the same school. He went to the same school. You know, they all went to the same school in Ranchi. So it's this connection is seen, and it's true. When I checked it, I did not know much about his life, but when I checked it, this was true. Also, we see that Saturn is with the fourth lord Jupiter. In this chart, we see Saturn is with fourth lord Jupiter. So Saturn being with fourth lord Jupiter, sorry, seventh lord Jupiter, we see that there can be delays in relationships, there can be some kind of separation in relationships. And I think that is the unfortunate thing which we saw, which happened with his first lover. And his first lover, of course, it is beautifully shown. That story is shown as a beautiful, sweet romance in the movie about MS Dhoni's life. So yeah, so basically, yes, we saw that the seventh house Lord Jupiter is with Saturn. In the D9 chart, which is the destiny chart, seventh Lord Mars is with Rahu, which is again rough, which is again difficult. So some people say his first lover, who was his really inspiration, the muse who got him into cricket, who got him into excelling in cricket. Apparently, they met on an airplane. And that story is shown beautifully in this movie. And this is not the picture of the girlfriend. This is the picture of Disha Patani, who played the role of his of his first lover who passed away. And it's a beautiful role that she has played. And 2002 is the date when she passed away in a road accident. And some people say it's 2006. I don't know what it is, but I think it is 2002. Both of the periods, 2002 and 2006, are difficult periods, Saturn period, Ketu period. And I can imagine that he could have gone through hell during this period. So we see that also in his chart. Then we see that in his Sun period, Sun is in his first house, Sun is leadership, Sun rules third house, which is the house of sports and action for him. And he definitely, during his Sun period, the Surya Mahadasha, which was somewhere from 2008 to 2000, I think it was from 2007 to 2014, and that was the period exactly when he was playing. He was playing as the captain. He played the role of the captain during this time, which was a leadership role, and that was in Test cricket and ODIs, as you can see. Now let's look at the past periods and the upcoming periods very quickly. So when you look at the periods here, you see that he's born in a Ketu period. Ketu is the life lord, as I mentioned. Ketu is in the 8th house, which is the house of misfortunes. So probably he had a tough childhood, probably had a tough conditions as a child. Initial 6-7 years could have been quite difficult for him, for his family, for his father, and this could have impacted him in a big way. Also we can see that during his, let me share again. So during his Sun period, we saw that he took up the captaincy, and probably things became a little more relaxed during his Moon period, but also Moon period can be more emotional period. So it's not an easy period for him in that sense. But in the Sun period, we could see that from 2007 to 2013, 14, that was the time when he was at the peak of his captaincy. Moon period now is more introverted. Moon is a more feminine energy, but it's a more introverted, but it's well placed. So there's nothing to worry. But the time when he's retired is very important, and that is in August 2020. And if you can see here, he's going through a Ketu Antardasha. And Ketu is placed in, Ketu is placed in 8th house, and it is not going to be an easy period. Ketu is placed in the 8th house. Ketu is disposited to Saturn at this almost the same degree, very close by to Saturn in the 4th house. So emotionally not a difficult period. So this could be an emotional decision, sentimental decision also, maybe on the personal front, maybe on the emotional front. There could be something challenging which has led to this. And definitely this is not an easy period for him till February 2021. But after that, things are getting better for him. We wish him good luck for this tough period. During this tough period, hope he can cope well. Also, let me share about the upcoming periods now. Let's look at the future a little bit quickly. So the future period, as you can see, is the Mars period, which is starting from age 41. It is starting from 2023. So 2023, we are going to see a more fierce form of MS Dhoni. His Mars, we can see, is placed in the 12th house. 12th house represents foreign lands. And it's placed in the second sign, which means that he could take up a mentoring, coaching kind of role in a foreign land. Of course, not just being a coach, but maybe a strategist could be a great thing. Maybe some of the countries which have new cricket teams, they could benefit from MS Dhoni's strategic thinking, because he can hone the cricketing talent of an entire country with his strategy kind of thinking, and also for the team to get more success. So maybe he gets into that kind of role as a coach, as a mentor, as a strategist for some other country probably, because we see the 6th Lord sitting in 12th. We see the 11th Lord also sitting in 12th. So it means that there could be some obstacles for him. It's a rough period, but it's also an aggressive period. We see him in his power. Mars is aspected by Ketu, as I told you. So there's going to be this strategist aspect. There's going to be this war aspect. There's going to be this very competitive aspect during these 7 years of Mars from age 41 to age 48. After that, he moves to a Rahu period, which I'm marking here. This is the Rahu period for MS Dhoni from age 48 to age 66. During the Rahu period, as we can see here, Rahu is placed with Venus. So during the Rahu period, we see more getting into glamour world, maybe getting into films in some way, because his fifth lord, which is about films, is connected to of course, the possibility films and glamour world is always there for cricketers. But remember that all cricketers don't do the same thing after retirement. They have certain pet peeves. They have certain things which they do more than other things. So I feel that after age of 48, 49, that's when Dhoni will come more on TV. Maybe we'll see him more as a I don't know, maybe as a commentator, but more in a public role, more visible. He may maybe reality shows, these kind of things. So also we can see a connection again with the 12th house Lord Venus, and it's with Rahu. So he's going to be like, is going to be kind of very, it's going to be quite a crazy and quite a powerful and expansive period for him. So and also the money comes in, so it's a very powerful glamorous period. You'll see him at his peak, whereas in the Mars period, which I mentioned from age 41 to 48, he'll be more in the background or doing some really solid work, but in the background, because Mars is in the 12th house. It's not a very easy period, but I think in the Venus, Rahu is really going to explode and his image is going to be big. So we are not seeing the end of MS Dhoni, definitely. We are going to see him play different roles. And of course, different players, as I mentioned, play different roles in their life. Like, for example, Kapil Dev started a business. Sachin Tendulkar is into social projects, etc., etc. Navjot Singh Sidhu is into comedy, is into politics. So MS Dhoni also is going to have a very dynamic expression during the upcoming days. And we wish him good luck. We wish him all the best for this upcoming period. Cheers, all the best. And thank you for watching this. God bless.